It's a long time since I haven't made a video. You see the videos that y'all been watching in my series? I did those videos like summer of 2025. We are now in 2026, February of 2026. And so I was doing a lot of releasing. I felt like I had to release a lot of this trauma that I've been holding in, so I don't really want to touch back on that. I really don't, even though there's so much more that happened in my life, in my family life that I could really touch on. But I just want to move on from there. So this point on, I'm going to start a new series, and it's going to be all about the happy times, the good old times. Okay? So we're going to start there, and I'm going to continue this when I get upstairs. I'm going to get out my car and get relaxed and then come back on and talk with you guys. All right? Peace. So I'm back on, and I'm really sitting here trying to think about what I'm going to talk about, because I really touched on a lot of things that went on in my life. I talked about, abuse in my family, my sisters getting abused, my kids going through trauma, and apparently the things that I was talking about really trigger people in my family and trigger some people. I don't even know. Like, I heard that certain things I said people would appreciate. But this is my story, okay? This is my story. I'm not hiding behind no shield. I'm not hiding behind any type of, what should I say? I'm not hiding. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not hiding. I hid all my life. I hid behind those things that were bothering me. I hid behind the shame. I hid behind a lot of things that was going on in my life, and I want to share my story. If people that's watching my story and that's part of my story and you don't approve of it, it's okay. Tell your story. Let's hear your version. Okay, so if you don't agree, it's okay, because this is my story. My children's father came at me talking about, oh, you lying about what you saying about. I don't even think I even touched on that I was in a polygamous relationship with him. I don't even touch on that, and I think he came at me and was saying like, "Oh, you talked about the polygamous relationship. You need to tell the truth. I didn't force you in a relationship." I don't think I said that. I think if you go back in any of my videos, you don't hear me saying that this man forced me in a polygamous relationship. I've been through a lot of religions, a lot of different religion schools, okay, and one of them was Muslim, and being Muslim, you have to accept. If your husband wants to take on another wife. Now, it's up to you. It's up to you to allow this wife to come into your home or to your family space. It's not solely up to him. But I don't know where I said in my story that he forced me to take on another wife. I never said anything like that. Okay, that was my decision, and this shit didn't even work out. Okay, this shit didn't even work out. I was doing it to benefit our family as a whole. Since you had this woman before me that you got pregnant, okay, you got pregnant. I'm looking up at the camera up here, and I'm looking here. So let me start looking here. You met this woman when you was in jail before me, and you got pregnant, and then you met me, and you was telling me all kind of stuff that you really didn't love her and this and this and that. So, and don't call me, and tell me, oh, I'm lying, because this is what you told me, because I wouldn't even be in a relationship with a man that got another woman pregnant. You know what I mean? That's not even my style. That's not even my style. That's not, and however it went, I choose to stay in this relationship with you whilst you try to bring along this other woman, the other baby mother. And it didn't work. But I stuck around and had 3 kids by you. So whoever's watching this, to go back and tell him, I don't care. You understand what I mean? Like, you really came at me hard. Like, I don't understand why. Out of all your baby mamas, I'm the only one that fuck with you. So I understand, like, why you're attacking me. You know what I mean? Like, why are you attacking me? I had your back from day one. Like, I don't understand. I never talked about nothing negative to my kids towards you. Never. I never talked anything negative towards you with my kids. My kids had no idea how our lifestyle was. I told them a few things and that was it. But to come at me and tell me I'm lying about what? I just, But anyway, I'm going off in a tangent because that just brought back some memories that really bother me. And, he came in and attacked me. And I'm like, I don't even remember touching on that. But anyway, for the ones that don't know, I was Muslim at one time in my life, and I was in a polygamous relationship. And it wasn't like a polygamous relationship where she lived in a household with me, we slept in the same bed, none of that. She lived in another state, I lived in New York State. He tried to mend our family together so he'd be able to take care of her, take care of me. He'll stay over there, spend time with his child. Then he'll come home to me, spend time with my kids. Like, I was okay with that because I knew what the religion was all about. There was a religion during that time. You understand? I was doing the right thing by following the Quran when it comes to these multiple wives. You get me? So, and that was a part of my time, and I don't regret it. You know what I mean? But it didn't work out. She wasn't with it. She, it was always some jealousy thing going on. It was jealousy on her end, and it was a little jealousy on my end. I'm not going to hold nobody, but it wasn't like, oh, why are you going over there? No, it was like my heart was in pain because he had to, go over there and be with her and be with his child. But it didn't work. You know what I mean? So that was a part of my life. Like I said before in my previous videos, that I went through a lot of different schools of life. You know what I mean? My first eye opener was I was a 5%. My name was Equality. I studied 5%, and from 5% I went into Islam. And from Islam, being a Muslim, I went into becoming a Hebrew because the Dr. York transitioned us into being Hebrews. So I studied underneath Hebrews. And then from there, I went to Kemet. I became a Rastafarian. And then I started studying Africa. I was studying, the Rastafarian lifestyle. You understand? I was in that for a long time. And all of this is with my children's father when I went through all this transition. And then after he left, I still was trotting Rasta, but not wearing like the long skirts and the locks and all of that. I stepped out of that and I started really studying spirituality, just living life on a spiritual level. And then from there, I started studying Hare Krishna, which is a form of Hinduism. You understand? And I studied underneath that, and that's really the nectar of all religion. It's not even a religion, it's a way of life. You understand what I mean? But where I'm at right now, like I always been, I'm just spiritual. I'm a spiritual being. I don't believe on no man God or no woman God that governs us. Have they come down here and left us lessons, left us information, jewels for us to follow by? Yes, but I do not worship no one but the universe. I don't even worship the universe. You understand? So this is where I'm at in my life. Okay, so yeah, I went through a lot of religion schools and things like that. Yeah, this is part of my journey, and I'm so proud of my journey. Like, I don't have nothing against my life. Sometimes I used to, back in the days, I used to be like, oh my God, I wish I had this type of life. I'm grateful. I'm so happy that where I'm at right now, because it made me the woman that I am right now, and it made me realize the woman that I am right now. Because it's not a lot of people out here like me, and I'm okay with that, So yeah, went through a lot of different religions, walks of life. You know what I mean? I still, like, if you walk around my house, you'll see Buddha over here, you'll see Krishna, you'll see Oshun, because I did study a little Yoruba. Okay, you'll see different things, and those are part of my history. Those are part of my schools that I went through. And I'm so proud because I've known a lot of information. First of all, I'm a life path number 7. We're all about knowledge, gaining knowledge, getting as much knowledge that we can get whilst we here. I'm a life path 7. And I'm an Aquarius on top of that. I'm an Aquarius. The water barrier, that information barrier that's pouring knowledge down to the universe for people to wake the fuck up. Okay, that's what the water barrier, we're not a water sign, we're an air sign. Okay, so I have all of that in my astrological chart, that tells me who I am and why I'm this way. Okay, I know my daughter used to be like, Ma, you was part of a cult. That was a cult. You know, when I look back at it, yeah, it has some cult. It's like a cult, but it was a way of life. You know what I mean? And it taught me a lot. If I wasn't in those religions, being underneath Dr. York, being Muslim, I wouldn't even know how to be a woman. Really, Muslim taught me how to be a woman. It taught me how to be a woman and how to act as a woman when you're in a relationship. How to be cleansly. Not saying that I was dirty or anything, but certain things that women needs to do. I learned that being Muslim. Remember, I was in foster care, so my foster parents didn't teach me everything about being a woman. She taught me how to cook and clean, but like certain things, cleanliness, when a woman gets her period and things like that, I learned that being a Muslim. You know what I mean? Being underneath Dr. York, I learned a lot. You know, and being underneath Dr. York, the ones that followed, the people's like, oh, he was a fraud, he child molested people. Maybe he did, I don't know. But guess what? He was definitely one of those beings that came down here and woke up a lot of people. I mean, open up their mind deeper than what you can imagine. We was talking about beings living on different planets way before anybody was talking about beings living on different planets. People used to look at us like we were crazy. Like, what? You talking about aliens? You bugging. This and that? Like, come on. And there's some people that still don't believe in aliens, which is fine. Which is fine if you think you're the only one in this universe. Like, you know, God made only us. So it's fine. You know what I mean? But he really opened up our minds to a lot, and I'm grateful for that. You know what I mean? I'm grateful for all the walks of life that I've been through. So what can I say? But I just wanted to touch base on that because I hate being called a liar. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't lie about anything in my story. This is my story. This is my truth. This is how I see it, how it went down. And if I offended anybody, sorry, but I'm not sorry. Tell your truth. You understand? So my thing is now, like, I've talked a lot about different things that went on in my life. I'm trying to figure out, like, what else should I do? What else should I talk about? I already showing a lot of herbal videos on my channel. I guess it'll come to me. What should I talk about? Because I don't want to continue to stay in trauma. But if it comes up whilst I'm having conversations, then, you know, so be it. I said, you know, when I was in the car just now, I was like, oh, we're going to talk about good times, happy time. My Earth Strong, my solar return was February 17th, and I had an amazing time, y'all. First of all, on my birthday, February 17th, it was the Chinese New Year's, which is the year of the fire horse, right? It was also the start of Ramadan. We also had an eclipse on that day, and it was a new moon in Aquarius. So it was a lot of energy going on. And right now, today is the 26th, and we are in a Mercury retro right now. So it's a lot of energy going on. But besides that, the day of my birthday, I rest. I was thinking about, oh, I need to go here, I need to do this. And I was like, nah, you gonna chill. I rest. I was around with my man, just chilling. My son was here. I was just chilling. And then I had a dinner party. Well, the next day, my daughter, she had got me a spa pass to the bathhouse. So we did a spa day. It was in Flatiron, and we had a good time. We got a massage, you know. And let me tell you something, that's the first massage I ever had. I told my daughter that. She was like, what? I mean, I had lymphatic massages, you know, when you're moving your lymph and moving liquid out of your body. I never had a full body, just regular massage. And it was absolutely fabulous. I had a man. If you go to the bathhouse or any spa, you know, women is good, but men got that grip, get it in that muscles, y'all. So that was nice. We spent a day in a spa, and then after that, she took me to Planta, which is a vegan restaurant. Absolutely delicious. Y'all gotta change it. Y'all gotta charge it. Y'all gotta try it. Y'all gotta try the Planta. I think there's one in California and one in Atlanta, but there's one in New York. For sure. It's kind of small, but the food was absolutely delicious. So I did that on the 18th. And then on the 19th, I went to a restaurant called Brooklyn Continental. It was like a Jamaican, Asian cuisine. And went there, and my sisters surprised me. They had all this confetti throwing up in the air. I mean, my birthday weekend was absolutely beautiful. I got me this Oura ring. I needed this ring. This ring, it's like everybody say, oh, it's like an Apple Watch. I think it does a little bit more than an Apple Watch, but I really got it. It's not like I'm in a gym right now, which I need to be, but my sleep pattern is off. Like I'm telling you, like, I be getting up in the night, like, so I'm monitoring my sleep. So this is one of the reasons why I got this ring. I'm monitoring my sleep. I mean, I'm a Mars in Aries, so I don't know how to take naps. And you know what I mean? My mind is always racing. Like, I'm always doing something. Can't sit still. If I'm not cleaning, I'm doing this. I'm posting. I'm doing... Like, I need to learn how to relax. That's why it was so important for me just to chill on my birthday and not do nothing. Because I'm always doing something. And if it's not for me, it's for someone else. Or, you know, so I just chilled. So I'm trying to figure out my sleep pattern. I need to get at least 7.5 hours of sleep. So I won't be so tired when I get up in the morning. I'll be so tired. But that's because my mind be moving. And I can't take naps. Like, I'll be trying to take a nap and I'll be like, bing, my mind is like, oh, no, you need to do this. You need to do that. Oh, you need... So I'm learning that. So that's one reason why I got this ring. And also for activities, I need to get back in the gym and start lifting some weights and doing some walking. Get this body tight, okay? Because this woman is of age, all right? I ain't no young thing, okay? And the reason why I want to get in the gym is just to keep healthy. You know, back in the days, I used to want to go in the gym all the time just to, you know, get skinny and stuff like that. But now it's for my health. I got to keep my body moving. I got to build my muscle because your muscle deplete when you get older. Because your girl is up there. I'm almost 60. Shh, don't tell nobody. I'm almost 60, okay? So, got a couple more years, but I'm almost 60. And so I just want to keep my body healthy, moving, and just build it. I'm always a girl in the gym, always, but I always stop. I'm always like, I'm always stopping. No more than 6 months. Then I get back in it, and then I'll stop. But I need to make it more consistent in my life. Like, just don't stop. Just keep going, because this is your life. You know what I mean? I know things come up and you can't make it to the gym and stuff like that. But come on, 6 months. When I went to the gym, and my son, he works at Crunch on the weekends, and so I went there, and he was like, "Wow, you haven't been here in 140 days." I was like, and that was 30 days from that. So it's like 200 days. So anyway, so I got the ring to monitor my activities, my heart rate, and things like that. And I also got a few other gifts. I got like my daughter gifted me a David Yurman bracelet. I don't have it on. So now I got to start doing, having a little collection of David Yurman. So I had a beautiful birthday, guys. I really did. One of the best ones I had so far. So look, that's a happy time. See? I'm talking about some happiness going on. So anyway, guys, so I'm going to come back on here. I don't know when. I need to go live on my YouTube. I think I'll start going live and just hear what people got to say and see who just jump on my live and then take it from there. If I start a series, I said earlier that I need to start a new series, but I don't really have a new series to start. Maybe I'll come up with one learning how to use medicinal herbs, making, different healing projects and things like that. But I got that on my channel, so we'll see. But I just want to come on here and just to sum up from the other videos that I put out earlier in the year of 2025, So, and I also want to say this, be free, release your trauma. Trust me when I tell you, this is part of your healing. And healing is consistent. It doesn't just stop. Okay, because something's going to trigger and something's going to come up. And sometimes you got trauma that's in your DNA from your past life. Yes, your past life. So things are always going to come up, but you got to learn how to face it and conquer it and move on. Okay, because you asked to be here. You didn't just get kicked out of heaven or get kicked out of the light. You asked to experience this life form. So learn from it and move on. So share your journey. You don't got to share it to everybody like how I did. Share it with someone you love. Okay? Or write it down in a journal. But learn to release it, because a lot of times we block shit out. Our memory, this is like a computer. And if you overload it, it would get burnt out. And then you'll find yourself in depression and being, falling into anxiety. Then you want to take Adderall and all kind of pills. Go see a psychiatrist. I went to go see a psychiatrist when I got depressed. I think I talked about it in my, earlier in my series that I went to go see a psychiatrist. I had to, because I was scared to get on trains and buses and travel. I used to come outside and hold the freaking gate just to walk down the street to go get my kids. You know what I mean? I don't even know if I even talked about that, but And I went, and she was the best thing in my life. I mean, I went to see, she was my third one, because the first one was trying to put me on medication. I was like, hell no. And the second one tried to do the same thing. And they were both men, not to hate on no men, but it didn't work. And the third one, I said, I'm gonna try it one more time. And she was the one. And she literally told me to get a journal and write down as far back that I can remember. And man, when I started writing in my journal, in my little composition, my black and white composition book, I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even know those things were, I bury it in my brain. I literally buried it in my brain, where when something traumatic just happened to me during that time, it triggered all that shit. And everything just came out into depression, anxiety, and stuff like that. So learn to release your trauma, because it will come and slap you in your face. And I'm talking about every trauma hits in a different way, okay? They come in different ways. You know, you can have a mental breakdown, you end up in the hospital. Depressed, can't get out your house. Or ruining a good marriage or relationship that you got with somebody. Or overeating, or taking drugs, or drinking alcohol. Okay, like it comes out in different ways, because you're trying to bury this trauma. And then sometimes you be like, I ain't got no trauma, that was back in the days. No, it's still there affecting you, because you don't want to face it. You don't want to deal with the new problems that you got, the new trauma that you got, and then your old past trauma that you're dealing with. So you just building layers on layers and layers, and then when you realize it's too fucking late in your life, you end up becoming sick, mentally sick, physically sick. Come on. We want to live and experience as long as we can in this life that we're here for. Because guess what? We was granted, we are blessed to experience this life. We are so blessed to be here. Whether we going through hard times or bad times, we are blessed to be here. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you that. And also learn your astrology, learn that clock over your head, that astrological clock that you got. Because when you going through your ups and downs, it will tell you a period of your life. Like, look, you're about to go through some hard times for this amount of years. Saturn's about to whip your ass. The father of the planet, the Saturn, the father, is going to put you through some stuff that you got to face. Okay, so this is what the astrological chart would teach you. Find someone that can read your chart for you and let you know exactly what's going on in your life now, and the present, the past, the present, and then the future. And you can always keep this person as a guide for you in your life, because that clock be ticking, and it's going to tell you different things that you're going to go through in life. Good, bad, children, your parents, your siblings, your friends around you. It tells you everything. You left that astrological chart as your guidance. But they don't teach us that. They don't teach us that here. That these planets are governing us. You understand what I mean? So you have to learn that, and you have to pass it down to your generational children, your grandkids, that this is what keeps us at ease in this thing called life. Is knowing how your planets is shifting over your head, how it is governing your life. Because maybe if I had that, I probably wouldn't have went through a lot of stuff. Or I would understand why I was going through those things like I do now, because I'm older now and I'm tapping in. The younger generation, they tapping in. You get what I mean? So yes, it's very important to learn who you are. At least your first three, your sun, moon, and your rising. But there's more to that, because you are all of that. You're all the signs. They are all in your chart. Okay? They're all in your chart. And I'm telling you, that's so important. I want to stress that. Learn that. Okay? And if you don't know how to go about to do it, shoot me a comment down below and I'll show you the way. Okay? I love you guys, and I'm going to be coming on here live, and we're going to be doing it. I don't know what, but this is my destiny. This is my destiny. This is my calling. It's all in my chart. And I love doing it. It's so wild that I started making YouTube videos and talking and doing, Instagram and promoting herbs, where it's all laid out in my chart. I'm actually living how I'm supposed to be living. And not that because I knew it. It's like my ancestors, they pushed me in this direction. And now that I know my chart for years now, I'm actually doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm fulfilling my purpose here in life. What I said, what I left behind, I'm doing it. I'm actually living it. And it's like in divine order. And I had no idea until I started learning my chart myself. I used to go get readings from, a man that I would still go to him, Dr. Kumar. You understand? Because he's very wise and way advanced than me when it comes to reading the chart. But I know my purpose now. And it's like, wow, like right now I'm doing teaching, and that's not my purpose. Well, it is, because I'm supposed to be teaching the collective. So even though I'm teaching in the public school and I'm dealing with children and I'm helping them learn, that is part of my destiny. That's part of my calling. But my real calling is to share knowledge that I've gained over the years, help people. And I'm doing that. And I love doing it. And I love you guys. Yo, I'm getting out of here. I love y'all. Until next time, I don't know. Whatever spirit pushed me to do, that's what we're going to do. But thank you for watching my series. If you have any questions, please leave it down in the comment. And please subscribe. Like and subscribe and share my videos. Share any one of them. You can share this series. You can share some of the herbal videos. You can share whatever you want to share. Just share it. Just share my videos. All right. I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers on here. All right. So the algorithm can start pushing my videos out. All right. I love y'all. Peace.